What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Stay updated on the journey. So I wanted to come to you with a video today. I heard about this story a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to talk about it here on my channel specifically, where an Uber driver was arrested for pulling out a gun on one of her riders during a trip. And before I get into it, I'm going to go ahead and show a news clip here of exactly what happened, and then I'll be back to break it down.
She doesn't want to get out of my vehicle.
The driver apparently on speakerphone with 911 yelling at two passengers to leave her car.
Get out of my vehicle right now.
She got them crazy eyes.
Get out!
The driver pointing a gun at passenger Chrissy Celeste, an up-and-coming Miami rapper, and a second female passenger.
You're gonna go viral.
Before driving off, the rear door still open. The video posted by Celeste on social media does not show what took place in the moments leading up to the confrontation. It unfolded around 10 p.m. on Tuesday night, according to a lawyer for both passengers.
There was a simple enough dispute that could have been resolved through conversation rather than having a gun pointed at you.
Dominguez did not provide further details on the nature of the dispute. In a statement to NBC News, Celeste saying, "We did nothing to provoke her." An Uber spokesperson telling NBC News this is extremely concerning. The safety of the Uber community is a top priority, and we removed the driver's access to the platform. Dominguez says the passengers are in therapy now, still shaken by this experience and some reactions online.
My clients have been receiving a ton of hate on social media, and it has increased their emotional trauma. And I'm just hopeful that at the end, we can secure some justice for them and hopefully some real change.
Hollywood, Florida police say they are investigating the incident, but have no additional information about the driver, who has not been publicly identified. And while the police department is looking into this, the attorney we spoke to for the passengers says they believe they know who the driver of that Uber is. At this point, though, they have not filed any complaint, any lawsuit against Uber or the driver. They're still looking into it, though. Tom?
Aaron Gilchrist for us. Aaron, I thank you for that.
Thanks.
All right, so basically what happened was the Uber driver was taking passengers home, I believe, and I don't think the news story mentions it, but I read somewhere else that the Uber driver was getting close to the drop-off, and once she got near the drop-off, the rider said it's going to be up here on the left. And once the rider said that, the Uber driver said something to the effect of, "Yeah, that's what GPS are for," and got irritated and ended up pulling out the gun and just got irate and everything that you see there on the video. So my thoughts on this is, okay, one, it's clearly stated in the guidelines when you sign up for Uber, whether it's Uber Eats or if you're a regular Uber driver driving people around, that you're not supposed to carry any firearms in the vehicle with you, whether you have a concealed permit, weapons permit or not. You're not supposed to carry anything with you, and also the riders are not supposed to have any weapons on them. Now, as a Uber driver, when you drive around people, I can understand why they might want to be armed, just because you never know who you might let in your car, and you never know what their intentions might be. I mean, there's been times where Uber drivers have been robbed, kidnapped, even murdered. I mean, I don't remember one story where the lady was driving someone and they pulled out a gun on her, and the guy ended up shooting her and killing her. So I can understand why you would want to be armed as an Uber driver, but on the other hand, I guess, you know, everybody wants to feel safe, so I guess riders may not feel safe if they know that Uber drivers have a firearm on them, and I'm willing to bet, even though the guidelines say that you're not supposed to, a lot of them still do carry just for safety reasons. But what this Uber driver did was definitely unacceptable. Like, with her attitude and the way she pulled out the gun on them, she definitely does not deserve to be driving with Uber or anyone, you know, just because they told her what side to go to drop them off. She shouldn't have gotten irate and pulled out a gun on them and acted crazy like that. So she's been arrested now, and she is actually facing aggravated assault with the deadly weapon charges. So hopefully she'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and maybe even do some time for that, because that's completely unacceptable to me. Secondly, the rider on there in the car, I saw that they haven't filed any lawsuits yet, but they are definitely looking into suing Uber in reference to this incident. Now, I mean, I'm not an attorney or anything. I don't understand how Uber would really be liable on that. I guess, you know, because the guideline says that the Uber drivers are not supposed to be carrying firearms, they may reference that and say Uber should be at fault because their drivers should not be carrying any firearms. But then on the other hand, as Uber drivers and Uber Eats drivers, we're not employees of Uber. We are contracted 1099 workers, so we basically work for ourselves. So it's different than if this was an actual company and we were W-2 employees. So it's interesting to see how all of that will work out if they do decide to go through with the full-fledged lawsuit against Uber. But yeah, that's a crazy story, and I just wanted to bring that to you guys to see what your thoughts were, and if you run into any crazy situations riding in an Uber or driving someone in an Uber, you know, what you think about that. Make sure you put in your thoughts in the comments, and you know, you shouldn't have to feel scared when you get in an Uber or anything like that. You know, most of us are just hardworking people just trying to make a living. You know, I would never drive people around just because I'm not that type of person. I don't really like people in my vehicle or anything. I'd rather just stick to the food delivery and package delivery and stuff like that, where I don't have to have people in the vehicle. But you know, for those that do have people in the vehicle, you know, you want to be safe when you drive people around, and they want to be safe when they're riding with you. So I would tell people, you know, not to worry too much about that just because you see in the news an Uber driver pulled out a gun on someone, because the majority of us are not like that. You know, the majority of us are good people just trying to make a living and support ourselves and our families. So that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to bring that story to you guys and get your input on it. If there's anything else that you would like for me to bring to you guys, any kind of content you would like to see, just definitely make sure you comment. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can start some growth on this channel. See some views, but not really subscribers. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back on the next video.